people you will visit in this video call themselves Bwaba, or Bwa in the singular. They speak a language called Bwamu and live in villages scattered across Burkina Faso and Mali, from the Black Volta River in the south to the Niger River in the north. They are excellent farmers who grow millet, sorghum, corn, sesame, and cotton, in fields which they tend with animal manure and mulch. They live in large, compact villages made of adobe bricks. Their homes are one-story rectangular brick buildings with flat roofs. They are able to send their children to local primary school, or if they have enough money, to high school in the city of Bobo-Dioulasso. Adequate health care is difficult to obtain, and they must travel to either Bobo-Dioulasso or the capital, Ouagadougou, if they are seriously ill. Like most people in Africa, they have been recently threatened by the HIV/AIDS pandemic, which they have begun to deal with effectively through education and safer sexual practices. The Bwa are among the most creative people in West Africa. They carve a variety of spectacular masks that appear on several occasions through the year from February to May. During the farming season, when rain falls and crops are tended, masks do not appear. The scenes you see here took place in late February 2005, when the masks of the village emerged from the mask storehouse in company with the figure of the great female guardian spirit of the village of Boni, to mark the beginning of the ceremonial season. These masks take the forms of antelope, bush buffalo, hawks, serpents, and other natural creatures, as well as humans, including the dwarf and the leper. The largest masks are the great plank masks, 6 feet tall and 2 feet wide. All of these masks represent supernatural creatures that the ancestors of the several families in Boni encountered in the wilderness outside the village. None are intended to be representational. All are portraits of abstract beings or ideas, and so they are also abstract.
Mais la poudre rouge que les gens sont en train de prendre, c'est du médicament qu'on met sur les fronts contre les maux de tête.
¿Verdad?
Nanti kata aki. Oke, malam ya. Tidak terus siapa?
Of all of the Bois in Burkina and Mali, only the southern Bois near Boni, Dosi, Bagassi, Pa, and Dedugu use wooden masks covered with red, white, and black geometric patterns. The rest of the Bois peoples farther to the north continue to use masks of leaves that represent Duo, the god of new life in the springtime. The southern Bois also worshipped Duo until about 1900, when a series of disasters befell them. There were endemic diseases, locusts, drought, crop failure, starvation, raids of Fulani on horses hunting for slaves, and finally, the most cruel blow of all, the French arrived followed by their Senegalese mercenaries. The southern Bois decided Duo had abandoned them, and they turned to their eastern neighbors, the Nuna, UIMA, and other Gurunsi peoples who were much more prosperous. They paid the Gurunsi for the right to use their masks, to sing the songs that honored the spirits they represent, and began to carve wooden masks that are very similar, although usually larger, than those of their Gurunsi neighbors. This is evidence of the fact that the Bois are open and receptive to change, and that much African art is defined by change, not by timeless tradition. There seems to be a constant discussion in the art world about what art is. Some people say African art is not really art, because it's used by people in their daily lives. Others say that art is meant to be shown in a museum, and because African art was not intended to be seen that way, it is not art. Both of those definitions are mistaken. All art through the ages has been made for use by people, to express ideas, to reflect status, to record history. In fact, I maintain that there is no such thing as art without meaning. African peoples make art that expresses their ideas about their identity, history, place in the world, and their relationship with the spirit world. In Africa, most art is intended to be seen in motion. It is worn, handled, manipulated, offerings are made in front of shrine figures, art plays an active life in the community. In Burkina Faso, and especially in Bois villages such as Boni, art in the form of masks comes to life during the ritual season, and it is common to see villages full of men, women, children, and spiritual beings brought to life by masks. Art is a verb in Africa. It is something that is done. Art is a prayer, a performance, a statement, a process. Art is not hung on the wall, nor placed in a plexiglass case or on a coffee table. It is what Africans do when they need to speak to God or to make the spirits visible. masks are carved of the wood of the silk cotton tree, the Ceiba pentandra, which also grows in the Americas. The largest masks weigh as much as 60 pounds. The costume is made of cultivated hemp, Hibiscus cannabinus. The hemp is cut, bundled, soaked in ponds, and the soft pith is pounded out. The tough fibers are then dyed and knotted into a net-like garment that fits the performer's body closely. Long strands of dyed fiber are then knotted into the undergarment. The mask is held in place by strong cords that pass through the holes in the mask and around the back of the performer's head and neck. The performer bites down hard on a thick bar of wood that passes through two larger holes in the rim of the mask. The strength of his jaws and teeth hold the mask firmly in place. will notice large groups of young men and women and smaller groups of elders. Each of these groups is an age grade, made up of people who have passed through initiation together. These age grades are extremely important in the community, for they compete to perform good works in the village, clearing fields, building structures, cleaning the village, learning development techniques, and digging wells. Bois society is very unusual in Africa because young men and women of roughly the same age are initiated together and are not segregated by gender. The result is that women play a very active role in the public life of the village, and the women's age grade associations appear in public in close contact with the masks. Everyone in the village has equal access to the masks, young and old, male and female, although only young men actually wear them. Young men of the community, about 18 to 24 years of age, wear the masks. This is a period when they have completed the first important stages of initiation and are physically strong enough to wear and perform with heavy masks. It is often quite easy to identify the young men who perform when you meet them in public, because their necks are visibly thick and strong. After wearing the masks to mark the end of the initiation, they are selected to wear them in large public celebrations based on their skills as performers. Once they've passed the age when they can manage the masks and a new group of younger men has passed through initiation, they cease to perform. You will frequently see older men imitating the performances, but without wearing masks. These are men who were once famous for the skill and creativity of their interpretation of the spiritual beings through the masks. All Bois masks are covered with graphic patterns in red, black, and white, which represent the religious laws the people of the village must observe if they are to receive the blessings of the spirits the masks embody. These same patterns appear on textiles, pottery, the walls of buildings, and most importantly on people's faces and bodies. Whenever the Bois see these patterns, they are reminded of the laws they must obey if they are to be successful and respected members of the community. The zigzag across the plank masks is the path of the ancestors, the path each person must follow to receive God's blessings. The checkerboard represents the importance of lifelong learning. The black squares represent knowledge, the white squares a lack of understanding. The government of Burkina Faso banned the use of scars by all the people in Burkina decades ago, and so they are only seen today on the older people in the village. The Bois are very typical of most of the other peoples in Burkina Faso. They did not have any system of chiefs or any religious hierarchy until the arrival of the French in 1897. Instead, their communities were formed around the congregations of spiritual beings which provided the social fabric that held the community together. Unlike the Mosi, who had been conquered and welded into strong centralized political states in the 16th century, the Bois had never been conquered until the imposition of colonial power. The result is that Bois society has been very democratic, with decisions made by male and female elders of the village, and is very open to change. The Bois are very quick to recognize the advantages or disadvantages of other people's ideas, and whenever needed, they adopt and make good use of them. They are open and receptive to change, including religious change and the creation or invention of new spirit beings, and change associated with development, including new crops, farming techniques, and so on. In this they resemble the Gurunsi, Bobo, Marca, and other peoples in central and western Burkina, and they are very different from the Mosi, whose society is centralized, conservative, and closed and resistant to change. performances of the masks are intended to recreate the characteristic behavior of the spiritual beings they represent. The dances of the leper and the dwarf are idiosyncratic. The hawk spins its wings, the serpent vibrates its long body, the antelope tosses its head. The most abstract of the masks, the tall planks, are signboards covered with the patterns of God's laws. They spin in place, rotating rapidly along the vertical axis of the mask, in a gesture that recreates the motion of God's hands as he molded the earth from a ball of mud. Although there are certain expectations on the part of the audience and of the elders who own the masks about the performance, the performer is given latitude to invent new, innovative, creative performances that communicate more effectively the character of the spiritual being he interprets. The Bois people of Boni have used a mask that represents the serpent for decades. They tell the story of a group of men from the town who planned to raid a neighboring village to steal wives. The raiding party was ambushed and fled for their lives. One elder sought safety in the den of a great serpent, calling out to the serpent that if it protected him, he would honor it with a mask. The serpent protected the elder from his enemies and even brought him food. So when it was safe to return home to Boni, the elder commissioned a mask to honor the serpent. For years, large crowds came to Boni to watch the serpent perform, and the people of the nearby Bois towns of Dosi and Pa found that fewer and fewer visitors attended their own mask performances. The young men of Pa went to their diviner to explain the situation, and the diviner consulted the spirits and discovered that there was a great serpent in the history of Pa. When the serpent mask was carved, the men of Pa made sure it was a meter longer than the mask in Boni, and soon large audiences began to attend mass performances in Pa.
Cái chân người ta